Hey guys, G Show here with Blindsided Sports covering the Buffalo Bills, and today we are talking about that saying that everybody says here in Buffalo, especially our guys Sean McDermott, Brandon Beane. We gotta trust the process. I'm gonna tell you why right now. Let's go. We gotta start with our guy Sean McDermott. He came into Buffalo as the Bills' new head coach. We didn't really know him too much about him. He seemed like a stand-up dude, disciplined, intelligent guy who came from a kind of a blue collar background, right? We knew that the intangibles about him were awesome, but we didn't really know what he was all about. And we have, after a year or two, we have found out what he's all about. And to be honest with you, but I love it. I love everything he stands for: the discipline, the homework, the studying, the structure, everything about him. I love. He inherited a challenging team. Okay, there was guys who had a lot of star potential, but as a cohesive unit, which is what you need to be successful in the NFL, team chemistry, everything mixed together, it was a disaster. Especially when Rex Ryan was our last head coach. You can't be more loose than that. So it seems like McDermott's number one priority was the culture change. Get the guys out of there that aren't going to buy in, aren't going to go the extra mile, aren't going to put that work in, and bring in the guys that can be good role models, that can show what it takes to be successful and to be really, at the end of the day, Super Bowl champions. And look, when you're talking about the first 2 years that McDermott's been here, he has implemented that strategy. He has that taken care of. This roster that was being completely overturned, bringing guys in, getting rid of some of our top guys, and he takes this average to probably below average roster to the playoffs in 2018. That's coaching right there. That's pure coaching. We know Tyrod didn't have the juice. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL. McDermott took that team and coached the hell out of them and got them to the playoffs, ending that 17-year drought. I mean, come on. Right there, that's a ginormous milestone for a head coach in the NFL. To come into Buffalo, 17-year drought, bang, playoffs with a below-average team. Amazing job from coach. Talk about the guys he's brought in. Has he made some mistakes? Yeah. Dennison probably wasn't a good sign. But when you bring in a defensive coordinator like Leslie Frazier, I mean, who's got a ton of NFL coaching experience, head coach experience, you bring him in to run your D, and then you bring a guy like Dable in. These are guys that are renowned in the industry. I mean, Dable's been all over the place with New England, Alabama. He has a serious line of success and championships. He came to join McDermott's staff. Leslie Frazier came to join McDermott's staff. That's impressive. Bringing those guys in is impressive. And that shows what other coaches, what other people in the industry think of Coach McDermott, Brandon Beane, the Pagulas, the Bills franchise in general. Let's break it down. Year one, the number one priority was that culture change. And after that, we had to take care of all those salary cap issues. And we're going to talk more about Brandon Beane here. And after those two, it's bringing in guys that we know that can be here for the long term, who are going to have solid play. The Micah Hydes, the Jordan Poyers. All this turnover, and they're still bringing in guys, coaching them up, that are going to be here for the long term, for the long haul, through this whole rebuilding process. Okay, then we go into year two. And what's year two about? It's about bolstering that defense, proving that we have a great defense, which we did, a top defense in the NFL, and finding those cornerstones on both sides of the ball, which, as of right now, it looks like we have a real shot at proving that we did that with Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds. Yeah, we have some other signings. We've brought in a bunch of guys. We're going to get into it. But that year two, we bolstered that defense, and we got our quarterback. We got our middle linebacker who runs a show, two young studs that have a crazy amount of potential. Year one, a success. Year two, that step back that we needed to get draft picks, to develop our young talent. Year two was a success. You have to look at it as a success, especially how we finished the season last year. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Finishing 4-3 and a Charles Clay catch against the Dolphins and a couple special teams tackles against the Jets, and away from being 6-1 to finish the season out last year. Okay? Year two was a success. Here we are, year three. All roads lead to year three, and we have no reason to believe that it's not going to be a success. Year one, and year 2 have been. And when it comes to this process, we cannot forget about our guy, Brandon Beane. As a new GM, he came in and he put his stamp on this franchise, like most of them like to do. And it seems like Beane has made way more good moves than bad. Has he made some bad moves? Absolutely. We don't even have to talk about it, but Kelvin Benjamin, Nate Peterman, possibly trading Ronald Darby. We don't know yet. We don't know. There's some bad moves out there, but any GM, especially one that inherits a franchise like the Bills had at the time, are going to make some mistakes. Let's talk about some of the moves he's made, okay? First, Sammy Watkins. We traded him away for a second-round pick and E.J. Gaines. Look, I know we didn't have E.J. last year, but between the year before and how well he played, helping us to get to the playoffs, and this year, now that we re-signed him, and I'd like to think it was because of his success he had a couple years ago, without the second-round pick, I might even take E.J. Gaines for Sammy Watkins. I mean, Watkins has had flashes. I mean, one every 6 or 7 games, he'll blow up a little bit, but he's still injury-prone, and he's still not consistent. And he's making a shit ton of money. So that's a big win right there. That's a big win. EJ plus a second-round pick, that's a big win. Another trade he made was we got Jordan Matthews and a third-round pick from the Eagles for Ronald Darby. Yep, Ronald Darby has played pretty well, but he's also gotten injured quite a bit for the Eagles. Okay, and these two trades set us up, no doubt about it. They were probably the only reason we were able to trade up to get Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, talk about making a bold move. Those two trades directly, not only did we get E.J. Gaines and Jordan Matthews, who, yeah, okay, he was Jordan Matthews, but not only did we get a couple of solid players, especially E.J., but we got the draft picks that we needed to find those cornerstone pieces on our offense and our defense. Another trade, we got a 4th-round pick this year in this draft for trading Reggie Ragland's average ass, okay? Reggie Ragland is a depth player, okay? He's a guy at the bottom of the 53-man roster. He's going to get some playing time. He's going to fill holes when needed, but his Pro Football Focus numbers are not very good. And Ragland, he's shown flashes of being able to play well in the NFL, but for the most part, below average. And look at, I'll take a 4th-round pick from Brandon Beane, who we're going to talk about some of his drafts here. I'll take a 4th-round pick from him over Reggie Ragland at this point all day. Another good trade. Can't wait to see what we do with it. We also were able to trade Tyrod Taylor for the first pick in the 3rd round. Tyrod, for the first pick in the 3rd round. A proven mediocre quarterback at best. We got the first pick in the 3rd round from Cleveland. That's amazing. He's gone. He's gone. Cleveland used him like, oh, shit. Yeah, we'll throw him in there. We'll let Baker sit. You know, like the hypothetical. Okay, let's have the young kid sit. Tyrod, you're our guy. He was so bad that they started Baker Mayfield. We got a 3rd-round pick out of that. Brandon Beane, genius. Great move. And then we talk about Cordy Glenn, getting rid of him so we could move up in the draft last year. All these trades tie into why we were able to get those cornerstone pieces that we now have. Guys, we cannot forget about another ginormous move that Beane made. Okay? May 11th, 2018, after the draft, you look at undrafted rookies, okay? And B brings in 2 guys that we all know, we all love, Robert Foster and Levi Wallace. These guys turned out to have ginormous years. Undrafted free agents, both out of Alabama, the Dable connection, it all ties together here. It all ties together. Foster, we all know what Foster did. He was explosive. He made the big plays. He had a chemistry, a connection with Allen that no other wide receiver had, and we're all pulling for him to take that to another level and become a number 1 wideout. We're all hoping for that, okay? Is he going to do it? We don't know. Has he shown that he can have a ton of potential and make really big plays for the Bills? Absolutely. Undrafted free agent. And everybody forgets about Levi Wallace. We're so concerned about, E.J. Gaines coming in, Kevin Johnson coming in. Who's going to be starting opposite of Tre'Davious? Levi finished the year last year, but from week 10 to 17, he was the number 3 quarterback in the NFL. Not number 13, not number 23. There's consistently, 30 to 40 quarterbacks that are starting, that are getting that get a large chunk of playing time in the NFL. Levi Wallace was number 3 for those 7-8 weeks. That's impressive. Undrafted free agent. Bang. All roads lead to 2019, 2020. Okay? And what we're going to do in a few weeks in that NFL draft. We got these free agents. We brought all these guys in, the wide receivers, the tight end, the O-line, some guys on D. We've brought in the free. We've done the job on free agency. We're still going to find a guy here and there. We might even make another trade or two. If you look at where the Bills were to end last year, okay, on a high note, especially that last game of the year against Miami, on a real high note, and you talk about the turnover we had already, getting rid of the fat, bringing in the muscle, bringing in the John Browns, the Cole Beasleys, the Mitch Morses, okay? Bringing these guys in, the Tyler Cross, guys who can make plays. High potential, high character guys, okay? I'm happy. Don't even include the draft. I'm excited for next year to see what the Bills can do. I say sky's the limit already. But you talk about this draft, and you look at the success that the Bills had last year, you have to hope and maybe assume that they're going to kill it again this year, right? We have no reason to believe that the Bills aren't going to do a great job in this draft this year. The speculation's out. Who are we going to take? Are we going to trade up? Are we going to trade down? You know what? I'm going to come out with my mock draft probably a week before the draft, and I'll let you guys know what I think the Bills are going to do. But to be honest with you, whatever the fucking Bills do, I trust it right now. I love it right now. They can do some wild shit. They can trade out of that first round for 2 extra 2s and a third. No picks in the first round. And I would say, okay, they think there's more potential. They think there's more star power in the second. I know. It sounds crazy. But the point I'm getting at is we have no reason to believe that these guys are We have no reason to doubt these guys. We have no reason to doubt Beane and McDermott. We don't. They've made a couple mistakes here and there, but for the most part, they've been killing it since they walked in that door, and I fully trust them. But like I said, this draft means everything. Okay? We got the cake. We got the cake built right now. This draft is that icing. We need 3 or 4 guys, a couple starters to come in, hopefully a couple diamonds in the rough that can come in and be stars in the NFL, and a couple guys that could be solid-ass starters. I know, it sounds like Bills fans sound every year. But like I said before, it's different from the Pagulas, which is only a few years new, to Brandon Beane, to his entire scouting staff, and the guys he has in the front office with him, to Coach McDermott, Leslie Frazier, Brian Dable, and these young, potential-filled players that they've brought in, these high-character guys that are committed, dedicated to winning and putting in that work. It's different. Run with me here, guys. Run with me. If you're a Bills fan and you don't see where I'm coming from, you can't hop on this ship right now, I don't know what to tell you. But this is it, guys. This is the year. This is it. 2019 is the fucking Bills year. From the Pagulas to Beane to McDermott to these players that we're bringing in, everything's different. This is it. We're fucking doing it. Look, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in. We're going live tonight, 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking draft. We're going to be talking off-season moves. We're going to be talking what the 2019 season is looking like, what the schedule is looking like, all the above. Come hang out, shoot the shit. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. As always, G-Show's out. Let's go Bills, baby. Guys, G-Show here with Blindsided Sports, covering the Buffalo Bills. Here with my 2 little G-Shows. Guys, say hi. Hi. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please like the Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I was talking to the 8-year-old G-Show here, and I told him how many subscribers we had, and he laughed in my face. I asked him how many subscribers we had to have to be a cool dad, and he said 2 million. 2 million. He looked at me and said 2 million. So we're going for 2 million, guys. Please subscribe and hit that bell so you can get the notifications when we go on. Thank you so much. Guys, say see you later. See you later, boo-boops. Boo-boops.